Hello. So I'm gonna be doing a Lethal Company entity tier list based on their danger. This is my first time speaking in a video, so yeah, that's my voice. But we're gonna start from D tier all the way up to the very top. So I feel like D tier we're gonna start with the Manticoils and the Roaming Locusts because they literally just don't do damage. And what I'm also gonna put in this tier is Spore Lizards. They're just harmless and practically run away. Alright, in level C, I probably think that we should start with the blobs. They can do they can do a massive amount of damage, but they're as slow as a snail, so it's like really does not they're not a harm unless you get cornered with like another entity. But in level C, I'm also gonna put snare fleas. They can be difficult to deal with if you don't have a shovel, but if you have a shovel, they're an absolute joke. I could say the same thing for these little guys. I love them, but they're very easy to deal with, and you just don't take their loot, the hoard, that's the loot that they hoard, and you'll probably be fine. Okay, I feel like that's the end of level C. All right, level B. I'm gonna start this with. Actually, no. Baboon hawks. No, baboon hawks are going to be. They're just weird. You don't really encounter them much, and they're just kind of hard to deal with. I mean, if you have a shotgun, it'll be fine, but just weird monster overall. If they removed from the game, not many people would notice, or they just wouldn't care. Also, bees. Oh shoot. Bees are only a threat if you go through near their hive, obviously, and you only most of the time do that if you want their beehive, which like it's not a necessity to have, so you won't really need it. But okay, I'm also gonna put these guys, bunker spiders, cause they just wait, yeah, no, they're B tier, cause they're pretty easy to deal with if you have a shovel or a shotgun, but they're very like they will kill you in 2 hits if you don't have a shovel or anything. Um, next we're gonna start with A tier. So I'm gonna put starting in A tier the Thumper. It can move really quickly and does a lot of damage. And kind of the same thing for the Spider, except it's faster. It's kind of easy to deal with if you have a shovel. Maybe if there's like a middle between B and A, I'd put him there, but there isn't, so I'm gonna just put him to A. But they can be pretty hard to deal with if you don't have a shovel. Also, I'm gonna put turrets in actually B tier. They're just they can kill you really quickly, but they're pretty easy to avoid. Next up in A tier, I'm going to put masked. I might have put these in D tier because they're really easy to deal with if you have a shovel. I don't know, not easy. But if they start doing their blood vomiting thing, then you're practically dead unless one of your friends has a shovel or a shotgun. So I feel like A is a good spot for them. Also, is this the company monster? He's not that. Yeah, there. Also in A tier, I'm going to put put the Bracken. Stop going into B tier. Brackens, they're really easy to deal with if you have a gun, and you just need to like keep checking your surroundings around the if like, and you'll probably be safe. But if you're like not if you're like unaware and you just don't check your back, then they're very hard to deal with, and you can't look at them for too long. Look at them for like a second, and they'll start walking away. Don't look at them for too long though, because then bad things will happen. Also in A tier. I'm going to put the Earth Leviathan. These barely spawn, like, ever, and if they do, you have to just drop everything and run. But I personally feel like they're not that hard to deal with. I have had a lot of my friends who have died to this thing, but I don't feel like it's that hard to deal with. I have no idea what this is, so we're just not gonna do this one. Alright. Starting in level S, we're gonna start. No, shut up. We're gonna start with coil heads. They're not terribly hard to deal with if they're just by themselves. If there's practically anything else there, then it becomes so annoying. Or if they're like at the entrance, it'll be really hard to get out. And they're just annoying and freaky and do so much damage. Next thing in S, I'm gonna go with the dogs. The dogs, you have to be so quiet around them. Like, always crouch walk, can't have any loot that makes noise, can't start the ship, can't run, you can't do anything around them. And they spawn very commonly on eclipse planets and during later times. I have died to these so many times and have panicked around them because of how much I hate them. I hate them so much. Next in S, we're gonna put the nutcrackers, the cracknutters. No, that sounded so weird. These guys, they're practically blind. So if you don't want to kill them, they're very easy to get past. Their shotgun will one-shot you, and so will their kick. I've learned that the hard way, and if never get too close to a nutcracker, like never go in front of it. And they take 5 shovel hits to kill, but if you do kill them, you get a shotgun out of it, which is very nice. But they're kind of hard to deal with, and you kind of get shivers whenever you hear the walking of them. Alright, next in S, I'm gonna put Ghost Girl. Ghost Girl, she is very dangerous and very fast and can leave the facility. She is very dangerous, although she can only target one player at a time. So if you have a ton of friends and if you're using like the if you're using more company and you have even more people, then she'll probably only kill like at least only one of you, if anything. All right. Next is S plus. Starting with S plus. Actually, yeah. We have jesters. Jesters, this might be a controversial opinion. Some people could say they could even go down to like B or A. But I personally feel like jesters are terrifying because it can take although it can take up to 40 seconds for them to be fully done winding up, it's just a ticking time bomb in the whole thing. And worst of all, if you're like deep into the facility and it's like at the entrance and your other friends are there, you have no idea that it's there, and you're just completely clueless and oblivious until this creepy skull thing just starts chasing at you at 1,000 miles per hour. It's terrifying, it's hard to deal with, and you just have to leave. That's the whole thing about it. And at the top of the top, we got forest giants. Forest giants, there is no counter to them. It is literally just a fast, they can outrun you, and they pick you up, then you're literally dead unless you have flashbangs. You can't kill them. They're huge, and they spawn on most planets. It's very dangerous. And I'm not even joking. Like, I've seen one on practically every planet, and they're just terrifying too. And yeah, that wraps up my tier list of every monster's dangerousness on what my opinion is. If you guys disagree or have other opinions, just go say it in the comments below. Anyways, thanks.